Alright, y'all, welcome back. So this is gonna be a part 2 video, cause me being a big old dummy and not paying attention. Well, not being a big old dummy, but just me not realizing that I stopped the video instead of pausing it. So this is gonna be part 2. And so I'm potting up these things. I'm gonna tell y'all why I get the plants that I do get, and I'm gonna talk about my horticulture therapy experience so far as somebody who is training in that. So for those of y'all who don't know, horticulture therapy is an unaccredited therapy. So technically you don't need to be accredited by like the state to be an horticultural therapist. There is the American Horticultural Association or something like that, which does offer accreditation via that organization. But there's like no medical thing that says this makes you an horticultural therapist. Even though I would argue they have some pretty good standards and tedious standards for a license, for a job that doesn't have an actual license. And this is our little Pelea. Now some people call it Palea. I like to call it Pelea. I add a little Spanish twang to it, you know. But as I was saying, I've taken 2 classes. I'm doing my training at NYBG. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's New York Botanical Garden. New York City has 4 botanical gardens. It has the New York Botanical Garden, which is in the Bronx. It has Brooklyn Botanical Garden, Queens Botanical Garden. I actually don't know if Staten Island has an actual botanical garden, now that I think of it. It has Snug Harbor. I'm getting off topic. Let's see how nice it looks. I'm just gonna have to water it at the end. But that program is very interesting. I love my classes so far. And I'm somebody who likes to do earthwork with a focus on healing. And so I've always been doing that unofficially. And so it's nice to have some official lens, even though one can argue that therapy and healing aren't exactly just because you're working in therapy doesn't mean that you're necessarily working in healing. Just as if you're working in pharmaceuticals doesn't mean you're necessarily working in healing. So I do have some critiques about therapy in general, including horticultural therapy. But the classes have been pretty amazing. I've taken intro to horticultural therapy with my professor Ann, who is amazing. And then today was my last class, so just snapping all of these really sad pieces off. This poor Sagonium. It's gonna pop back up soon, even though it took a much bigger beating than I wanted it to. And I just finished my physical rehabilitation class today, or my last class after finishing projects. But what I am excited about is to have this frame of lens of framework. Oh my gosh, trying to do so many things is hard. And apply that into the work that I do. Because right now I actually work with a school and students. And some of them definitely can use the healing framework. So it's nice to have that and to be able to offer that. And what I like about horticultural therapy, I guess, is the validity of it. I think there's a lot of people I know who do earthwork and they're very interested in healing. And so the thing that everybody goes to is herbal medicine. And you know, I love me some herbal medicine. And herbal medicine ain't for everybody. Like doing tinctures, getting the teas, doing the herbal baths, like being the one to stock up and, you know, grow the herbs and create the apothecary, and remember all the recipes and create the oils and tinctures and have them ready for a couple of weeks before you could give them to somebody. Not everybody has all that access. And that's not what everybody needs. Like everybody sometimes want, and herbal plants, they help. They're like a medium, like horticulture therapy. It's a medium for healing. All of this is just a medium. But sometimes people need to go a little bit deeper, or be in more direct contact with nature than the oil. It ain't more direct than the soil that's going on my foot. And so that's what I appreciate about horticulture therapy and how it really connects to the emotional and the spiritual and the cognitive. I would argue the cognitive too. And it's not just about, somebody's been trauma. Horticulture therapy in a normal sense is. And my lineage of Earthwork, it's not. It's about healing. And healing means empowerment, really. Maybe I'll talk about that in another video. We got a little syngonium. I'm just going to pop up once you give it some water. We got a palea, which I've heard some people call palea. And we got this little philodendron. So the reasons why I have the philodendron is because you see these little adventitious roots. They're aerial. Let me cut my nails. There we go. You can see the other nodes. So this is going to keep spreading and spreading. It's going to create more of those adventitious roots. And it's going to have a whole bunch of nodes. And so as an horticulture therapist, what you're going to realize is that you need a whole bunch of supplies. And everybody want to expect you to have all this shit ready for yourself. And then you need to practice. Like if you're doing a practice, you're going to need your plants to help you in your liberation. And so I've been spending all this money on these plants and this soil, and I'm somebody who likes to work with the earth. So I'm not naturally a houseplant person. So I got these, so we could do cuttings. Philodendrons are perfect for that. This friend we was actually just talking about before my last class. Is this Stomata? No, it's not Stomata. Friend, what is your name again? A Scaphlera. So cute. And so these two, I think this one too. I'm making an assumption based on how it looks. Can do cuttings, while the syngoniums, the green magic, and the stromata will be divisions. And once you get used to working with plants, you can kind of tell just by how they grow. You can look at them and be like, oh, this is a cutting. You can look at it and be like, oh, this is a division. You can look at it and be like, I need to wait for you to go seed. And all those different things. So that's how I've been choosing my plants. What can do cuttings, what can do leaf cuttings, what can do stem cuttings, what can do divisions. So I could decide which one to be ready when I need its help. So I'm probably just gonna finish piling these up because I'm going on a rant. Maybe I'll do another talk with a plant, talk about horticulture therapy. But I just wanted to give you an update. I got those other plants out there. Let me see if I can zoom in from here. Got a monstera. I got snake plant. I got 2 snake plants. I got a peperomia, and I got that beautiful ZZ. And that philodendron is actually gonna go in one of these big pots. But yeah, it was nice catching up with y'all. I still need to figure out this YouTube thing. And honestly, it's probably just gonna be me chatting it up and having a vlog or historical account. That'd be good to look back at. But I will catch y'all or myself another day. Ciao.